Hello, thank you for clicking on this video. This will be my breakdown for episode 3 of the Book of Boba Fett. So let's get to it. Now I'm a little bit worried because I know they're changing things about Boba Fett, but he's now becoming a crime lord. In fact, he's a crime lord. He has taken Jabba the Hutt's place, and I know he tends to rule with respect and not fear like Jabba. But I think there's a problem here because there's so many times that people attack him, and then he's just let them all go basically. So I think he's not yet on that level, and I'm trying to figure out how this is going to develop because we have a couple episodes left, and how Boba Fett really wants to control of Mos Eisley and the other crime families, as you say. But he's doing things differently, that's for sure. The question is it going to work? And it's a very different path from the character to take. And I know that he's no longer a bounty hunter. But yes, it's quite interesting. I'm a little bit worried about that. I hope we get some more of a badass Boba Fett. We have a couple of glimpses here and there in the previous episodes that we got. But yes, let's see how this develops. We have also the Rancor, finally a new Rancor. So it was very cool to see. And yes, we have these gang of teenagers space vespers and it's quite interesting because they look like a lot of things like Power Rangers, also Alita Battle Angel. That also similar to that, and Spy Kids, and both of those two movies at least are from Robert Rodriguez, who is directing those episodes so far. Well, this episode, yes, this episode. Now, also the male assistant in the chase scenes, I think that Robert Rodriguez was more concerned about cool cameos and stuff in this episode instead of a really cool action scenes, especially in the chase scenes. And then Boba Fett, he got the male assistant, and he's just, after all that, he's just simply, of course, he's going to interrogate, bring into interrogation. But he didn't help them after all that. And it's like it's a very different kind of crime law, yes. Now we start with Boba Fett figuring how things are going so poorly for him, and the droid explain how the Mos Eisley, his Tatooine, they are divided by sectors, and his sector is controlled by different family, like the crime families in movies and all of that. It's very similar here. So I think soon he's going to gather all of them and present how he's going to make all of them work together. So we will see that very soon. Now we had Stephen Wu. Now it was cool to see he's in a lot of TV shows recently, and it's always cool to see him on screen. But I think that here he being in this episode was more like a fun cameo instead of true characters like other actors that we have gotten in The Mandalorians. And he plays as a watermonger, and he sells the water on Tatooine. So he says that he having problem with his business, and some teenage gang robbing him, and he says that if Boba Fett helps him, he will pay the double for the tribute. So Boba Fett goes to these games, these teenager games, and he didn't even fight with him. It was just a simple conversation, and how he's basically in charge here, and how they said they don't have any work, so he hired them as henchmen. And then his different rule began and comes out, and you let them go, or and something like that. And then he says that he was being too expensive with the water charge. So it was very hard to see. Also, Sophie Thatcher as Dratch the biker. Thatcher plays Dratch, and she's the leader of the swoop bike gang. That's for. Then we go to Mos Eisley, and then later Boba Fett have another flashback as he was as kid in Camino and seeing his father Jango Fett fly out in his chair. It was basically the same shot of the previous episode, but it was more extended. It works better than the last one, but it was basically the same shot they used in the previous episode. Now, it's quite interesting because Boba Fett was basically raised and born in a planet full of water, and now he's in the desert. So it's quite the parallel. It's quite poetic, quite interesting. So Boba Fett goes to the parks to collect. As we know with the previous episode when he hijacked the train with the Tusken Raiders. Now, there's also when he's going, there are those stormtroopers helmets, and that's from the Mandalorian, and also Amy Sedaris and her droids running by. I believe she was put there digitally, so she was not really there filming the scene, but it was a cool cameo, fun to see. Easter egg. So yes, the Pike leader says they are not going to pay to the Tusken Raider and the Viking gang for protection of the same territory, and I think that is reasonable. And the Viking gang was the Viking gang are the one who Boba Fett encounters in the previous episodes. They have that logo, GGR, and Boba says that he's going to fix that, and looks like the back again given for the signature take down the Tusken Raider camps, all of them. And then Boba Fett put off his flashbang, literally put off his tank as Santi comes in the middle of the night as the twin promised in last week's episode. They were they were like sleep lightly. And I'm surprised that Santi survived as a gladiator, because these pumpkins basically take him down with switchblades. And then they also have an assist from Fennec Chan, who once again uses the trapdoor, the Rancor trapdoor. Okay, and we totally all see it coming. Now the twins visit Boba Fett and apologize, and it's revealed that the mayor has betrayed them all and is working with the Pikes. And the twins are leaving, and they suggest that Boba do the same, and they give him a parting gift. There's no bad feelings here, no hard feelings. And they also say he can keep Santi, Black Santa, his name is Santi. And they're like, there's also a Renko and Danny Trejo as the Renko keeper. So it was cool to see a long collaborator of director Robert Rodriguez, Danny Trejo. Now Boba Fett left something gold. It was pretty weird. Basically something one almost killed him. But yes, he spared him and he let them go. So then we get Danny Trejo teach Boba Fett about the Renko and how they are actually beautiful creatures that can imprint on humans. Quite interesting, because looks like Luke Skywalker didn't have the time or the patience to do that in the Return of the Jedi. So it's quite interesting. Now Danny Trejo mentions the witches of Dathomir, and it was quite interesting, fun to hear the name, just name checking. I was so excited. So the witches of Dathomir, the legend has they could ride the Renkos through the forest. The witches of Dathomir are force sensitive, basically Amazons, and they were founded by the Jedi Knight Alaya, who was exiled by the Jedi to a penal colony on Dathomir, and started this group, and taught them her ways and for sensitive women's. And it's a woman dominated clan, and I think this is quite good, quite interesting. They were also in the Clone Wars animated series, and really fun episodes with that. So Boba Fett likes to write the Renko. You say, I would like that. And Boba Fett goes to meet the mayor, and he can go to meet the mayor without an appointment, which is what happened with Stephen Rock. Now the mayor assistant says that let me go and check something, and he basically go and lock the door, and he escaped from behind the other side on the street. And then the henchmen of Boba Fett, the super gang with those Vespas, the bikes, they chase him, and that chase scenes were basically more structured for fun cameos. There were a lot of cameos in that chase scenes, and I think they didn't like the bikes, how they look. They were very colorful Vespa. But now, and Boba Fett get past on the last minute for scoring. I want more for the upcoming episode. And a bunch of spikes show up on the pole, and Boba Fett over the com uses a one of his henchmen, and he says like keep an eye on things, and he instantly regret his that joke. But it's all good. He's all understandable. He's good. Now I'll say that the pikes, there are a lot of pikes coming down to most aspects, basically like an army. So I think the bikes are a problem here. There were a problem before with the Tusken Raider, and they are a problem now. The question is, which is the big villain in this series? Because so far, looks like the twins are not Black Santi or Black Santa. Looks like nah. So maybe the bikes or the mayor, or maybe we'll get Kira here. So excited if we get, but we have to wait and see if the bikes are the really main villains of this whole season. But yes, I think that I hope the upcoming episode is way much better than that. But yes, it was not a terrible episode. I think there are some good elements here. But yes, I expect more. So that's my breakdown for the episode 3 of the Book of Boba Fett. So let me know in the comments below what do you think of the episode. Hit the like button if you enjoyed this video, share this video with your friends, and please consider subscribe to the channel. And thank you so much for watching. Bye bye.